Good evening, good evening. How's everybody doing? My name is Matthew Hovey, and I am the host of the Hovey podcast. How's everybody doing? So let's bring on Aisha Brown, who was crowned the funniest comedian in Indiana back in 2023 from Helium Comedy Club. Aisha, come on in. I sent her the link. She should be here any moment. So, how's everybody doing? So, this is a podcast that I'm going to be doing, probably a couple times a week, having celebrities on, having comedians, actors, actresses, athletes. If they're famous, they may be on here. If you guys have requests, let me know in the comments. We have local talent as well as global talent. That's Aisha should be coming in anytime. Now, if you've never heard of Aisha, she won Helium Comedy Club's funniest comedian in Indiana back in 2023. She has some hilarious jokes. Hopefully she gets on in a second and joins our live. Welcome in, Skylar. Skylar, welcome. How are you doing? Welcome to the first big broadcast with Aisha Brown. Should be coming on in just a moment. Hello, welcome, Aisha.
Hello. I'm still kind of getting ready, but I am here. How are you?
I'm doing great. Everyone, this is Aisha Brown. Well, right
Y-
now it's for ceiling, but you
Yep,
don't know.
I'll join in a second.
I kind of overslept, and she thought maybe we weren't doing it tonight, but I ended up being pretty much on time. I mean, 8:15, 15 minutes. That's enough to save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Mhm.
That ad was not sponsored by Geico.
Hello.
So, so Aisha, tell us about yourself. Tell us who you are. Tell us about how you came out into the comedy world.
Okay. So I'm Aisha, the comedian, Aisha Brown. I've been doing comedy for 15 years now. I started off on a dare. I commented a lot on people's Facebook statuses. So there was a comedian that did an open mic and he dared me to come to his open mic and perform. I went, I did 20 minutes the first time. I ran the light and everything. And yeah, I'm still here.
So tell us about winning funniest comedian in Indiana.
Okay. Well, I won that contest. When I entered and I looked at the list and the lineup. A lot of my comedy mentors were in the contest, so I entered to build my fan base, get more people to follow me, things like that, book me for shows. I did it just to get seen. It was my second time entering the contest. The first time I was cut in the first round. Um, so yeah, I entered just to get in, just to build my fan base, and I managed to make it all the way through. I gave my all each time. I never felt like I had it in the bag. I always felt like there was competition. And so, yeah, I won it. That was 2023. That was 2 years ago. First lady.
That's amazing.
Yep.
So, have you entered any other contests with your comedy?
I think that was like my eighth contest, to be honest.
That, that's amazing.
Yeah. So, I mean, like a lot of them are still not around. They're the little fly by nights. different promoters, different comedy clubs. I won one at Morty's before.
I
They
remember
had an open
Morty's.
mic. Yeah, they had an open mic contest. I've done some stuff in Los Angeles through the Comics Rock Convention. I was one of the finalists or one of the best people. So yeah, I think Helium was like my eighth contest.
Wow,
Mm-hmm.
that's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
So,
Thank
so
you.
what inspired you to get into comedy and start taking it seriously as a career?
So the dare is what got me into it. I never thought about doing it seriously. I kind of thought as comedians, as actors. I didn't know about open mics. I didn't know it was anything attainable, but I was always around comedy. My parents loved comedy. I grew up watching Def Comedy Jam. I grew up watching Saturday Night Live. So, I mean, I knew about it. My whole family was funny. And then once I did it for a dare and I found out it was serious business, I just stuck with it.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you always have a knack of comedy ever since you were a kid?
No, I was shy as a child, but once I got to be an adult, I was a hairstylist first. So a lot of people came to my shop or hung around me because I was funny, because I could command a room, because my customers, although they were waiting, they would be entertained while they were waiting based on my discussions. I was a teenage parent. I was a parent of three by the time I was 19. So that's kind of sort of nonstop material. You
Welcome,
always have something to talk about raising three kids as a teenager. So,
right?
yeah, I was kind of built for this. I always entertained a room. I always, if I went to a card party or a get together at someone's house, I was always the funny person.
That's amazing. Welcome in, Dennis McDowell. How are you doing? If anyone has any questions for Aisha Brown, let us know in the comments.
And hi,
So,
Chanel. Chanel tuned in. Robinson.
I Chanel, welcome in. So, everybody, my name is Matthew, and this is Aisha Brown, and this is the Hovey podcast. Aisha is my first ever guest on my podcast, and we are doing a question and answer moment right now. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments, please. Um, this is going to be a multiple time a week show. I am going to have celebrities on, local talent, um, athletes, comedians, actors, actresses, trying to get my fan base up. If you guys would please share out this podcast. So, Aisha, question
Yes.
for you.
Mm-hmm.
What is your number one joke? Like your go to joke in
I
comedy?
don't have one. I do not have one. I have a couple of sets. And my sets are according to who's the crowd. So I've got sets in my mind, but I don't know what jokes I'm going to tell until I get to the room and see who I'm entertaining.
Welcome in, Victoria Reed. We are doing the Hovey podcast. This is Aisha Brown, who won Funniest Comedian in Indiana back in 2023. So, Aisha, would you mind doing a set for us?
Yes, I would. I didn't know that would be part of the interview. Yes, I would mind. If you'd like to see a set, I would like for you to come to a show.
Well, could you do a little bit of comedy for us?
Actually, no, Matthew. So at this point in the game, doing it 15 years, I charge for my jokes. So I don't even really do open mics. If you want to see me perform, it's best to come to a show or follow my YouTube channel. There's a couple of videos on there that I release, but performing live on a podcast interview is not something I really do usually.
Victoria said, very nice.
Thank
And
you.
so I do want to ask you, do you have any tips for people that are wanting to be like start out in comedy, or someone that is actually wanting to get more out there as a comedian?
I do. I do. So, to get started, I would suggest going to an open mic. I host one. Helium hosts one in Indianapolis. That there's actually pretty much an open mic stage 7 days a week. I would say that's the first step, and I would say go to observe and see if it's something that you can do, because it's cool being funny in a room full of people you know, but getting on stage in front of strangers, that's a different animal. So I would say go to an open mic show and observe. If it's something that you want to do, you'll want to put together a 5 minute set. Um, I wouldn't suggest going up and just freestyling, talking about whatever you want to talk about. I would say pick 5 topics, and on those 5 topics, do a couple of jokes that you can kind of remember. I don't do really memorized jokes or knock jokes. I put jokes around topics. So you might say dogs, you might say children, you might say food. There's three. Make some jokes around that and formulate a 5 minute set. And then you're going to go to an open mic and you're going to practice that set over and over and over and over. Yes, the same set until you get it polished. And then you're ready. You start adding to it a little bit at a time.
Well, thank you for those helpful tips.
You're welcome.
So, do you teach a class for comedy?
Not currently. I'm looking into doing that. And if I do, I'm looking to teach it to teenagers. I want to
Really?
show, yeah, I want to attack teenagers and show them, don't pick up a gun. There's other ways to get comedy. You don't have to sell drugs. You can get drug money telling jokes. Imagine that. Police never want to arrest comedians. So, yeah, I'd
Right?
love to
I
teach.
mean, they laugh too much trying to arrest us.
Right. So, yeah, I'd like to teach some classes. I'm working on doing that, but I like to attack the teenagers first. We do a lot of teaching when we do our open mic. We do hang out with the comics. We do hold your hand until you get your first paid show. We do hold your hand when you start producing shows. So there's a lot of teaching that I do with the open mic, but I'd like to start branching out and teaching teenagers next.
Have you ever opened for any famous comedians?
I have. So opened is a word. Let's see, who have I opened for? I'm gonna say worked with,
Like, who
because
have
open
you shared the
means,
stage with?
yeah, there's the word. So I've shared the stage with you, Lunel. I've shared the stage with DC Curry. Oh my goodness, there's so many. I've shared the stage with Pinky Patel. I've shared the stage with, oh my goodness, I gotta think of some names. Hope Flood. I've shared the stage with JJ Williamson, JJ from the SIP. Most of the names that you'll hear are African American comedians. I've shared the stage with Hamburger. I've shared the stage with Shucky Ducky. So there's a lot of names, but most of the people that I'm toured with or done things with are veterans. They've got 25, 30 years in the game. So newer people may not know who they are.
That's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, who was your inspiration in stand up comedy?
Okay, so when I grew up watching comedy, I'll be honest, there were mostly women. I mean, I'm sorry, mostly men and white women. So I grew up seeing Joan Rivers, Rita Rudner, Reed Perlman. So when I was watching Saturday Night Live, I would see Steve Martin. I was seeing Eddie Murphy in his prime. I was seeing Richard Pryor in his prime. You know, Eddie Murphy Raw. That was something that we sat down as a family to watch at my home. So
Right?
um, those were my inspirations.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And what keeps you doing it? What keeps you active in the comedy world?
Two far in to quit. If I hadn't been doing this 15 years, I don't know if I would continue doing it, but I have to make it at this point. I'm 50. I've done this so long, so I've got to make it all the way, or everything I've done up until now is a waste.
Amen. So I have some comedy ready
Okay.
to do for today. If you don't mind me doing some, and then you giving me tips on how I could improve.
Sure, I'll listen. How long are you going to do?
Less than 10 minutes.
Okay. Is it going to be less than five?
I can make it less than five.
Please, if you don't mind.
I do not mind.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. My name is Matthew Hovey. How's everybody doing tonight? So, life. There's just not enough time. Am I correct? Not enough time. Sometimes you just got to sit back and rewind, if you know what I mean. Now, do you know the best time on a clock? The best time on a clock is actually 6:30, hands down. Now, do you know why the clock got in trouble in school? Because it kept talking back. I have two dogs. I named them Timex and Rolex. They're my watchdogs. Yeah, I sat on my watch yesterday. I guess you could tell me I was on time. Moving on to another topic, animals. Who loves animals and pets? I do. You do too? Okay. So I was taking my dog for a walk the other day, and I think he saw one of his relatives. He ran over to a tree and started talking to it. Turns out they have a lot in common, but the dog's bark is not much more worse than his bite. Yeah, dogs, man, you gotta love them. Have you seen the dog bowl?
Mm-mm.
I didn't know he could. Now, cat jokes really freak me out. I mean, seriously, I ain't kitten. Now, my cat had to go to the hospital. It just wasn't feline well. Yeah, you know those Siamese cats? Well, can I tell you something? I ran into a Siamese cat. Turns out they're not the same as Siamese twins. Now, elephants. Who loves elephants? Have you ever seen an elephant hiding in a tree?
Mm-mm.
Because they're good at it. Now, why did the elephant paint his toenails red? To hide in a cherry tree, of course. Now, jungles. Let's talk jungle. So, a lion threw a party and invited every animal in the animal kingdom. Do you know how you get a elephant in the fridge?
How's that?
Open the door, put the elephant in, and close the door. So, how do you get a giraffe in the fridge?
How's that?
You got to open the door, put the giraffe in after you take the elephant out, and then close the fridge. So, the party came, and all the animals showed up except for one. Do you know which animal did not show up?
What's that?
Well, the giraffe, of course, because he's still in the fridge.
So,
I,
Matthew, you mind if I ask you some questions?
I do not mind.
How
Please.
you been doing comedy?
I've been doing comedy. I wrote my first joke book back in 2017 titled 1037 One Liner Jokes.
Okay.
And that's when I've always had a knack for comedy. I've always carried joke books around ever since I was little. And it just became a hobby of mine to just write jokes and tell them. Telling jokes became first, and then writing them. Now I do borrow jokes, like dad jokes, when I'm writing my books. I do use some dad jokes of that are already written because did you know dad jokes cannot be copyrighted?
I did not know that.
Yes, because there is so many different ways that people can use a joke. How many times have you heard, why did the chicken cross the road?
Mm-hmm.
See, I
Do you
made a twist on
publish
that.
books?
I have published 4 books.
Mm-hmm.
My first book, 1037 One Liner Jokes. My
Mm-hmm.
second book was Hovey Humor, Making the World Happier One Laugh at a Time. My third book was Hovey Humor, Food Jokes, Jokes with Great Taste. And my last book was Hovey Humor, Animal Jokes that will have you howling in laughter.
Where can those books be found? Are they on Amazon?
They are on Amazon, but I don't recommend ordering off of Amazon or Walmart or any of those sites. I recommend ordering them at lulu.com. That's lulu.com. That's the publishing site I use. You go to the search bar and type in Matthew Hovey, Matthew space Hovey. The reason I don't recommend using Amazon or Walmart is because they take all the money from it. Like,
Okay, they take a percentage.
oh, a huge percentage. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't even see $2 or $3 from it.
And so the Lulu does you better.
Yes, they only take like $4 from it. So, if you guys are wanting to buy my joke books, head on over to lulu.com. I will put a link to my page in the comments of this video.
Okay, that's great. So when are you going to join us at Margarita Mondays open mic that we do each Monday? Or maybe we can see you at Helium. When can we see you on stage?
Well, hopefully soon. I gotta talk with my people and see when I could do it.
Okay.
Um, I I I haven't performed in a while on stage, but I'm ready to get back to it.
Okay. When you're ready, if you have a day of the week, hit me up and I'll let you know where it is we can go, and maybe I'll pull up, and as long as I'm available, we'll catch you at an open mic and see you live and support you and everything.
Thank you. I actually spoke at an autopsy meeting. It was
Did
open mic night.
that, that's hilarious. Is that in one of your one-liner
You,
books?
not in one of my current ones. No, I need to make a medical one. Oh, my hospital jokes are pretty sick.
That's hilarious. Well, I hate to cut you off, but I thought I'd be done by 8:30. I do love to do karaoke, and tonight's a karaoke night.
Oh, hey, I won't bother anyone from doing karaoke or keep them. Um, can we have you back on another time?
Most definitely, I'll return for
Would
sure.
you like to come on tomorrow?
I'll see. We'll have to talk about that offline. I think I might have had something come up, but we'll discuss it.
Alrighty. Well, everyone, let's thank Aisha Brown. Aisha, I will remove you and I'm going to just talk to the fans.
Okay.
Everybody, please like my podcast page, the Hovey Podcasts. We have a page and a group. Come on over. Let us know if you want to be part of the podcast one day. Aisha, thank you so much for joining
You're
us.
welcome, everybody. Like, share, and if you want to be a guest, hit Matthew up or hit me, and I'll direct you in the right direction.
Well, thank you, Aisha. Have a good one.
You too. Good night.
So, how did everyone like that? That was a really great show, I think, for the first one, having my first guest. She is a local comedian, Aisha Brown. So I want to say I am looking forward to doing more with this podcast. I've reached out to many celebrities to see if they want to be on here. I've gotten a few responses. I won't put any names out there yet. If there's any local musicians that want to be on tonight for the remainder of the time that I'm on, please let me know and I can bring you on video. Any musicians, or if you're an athlete, have me bring you on. Guys, I'm going to just tell some dad jokes for right now because dad jokes are really how I roll. Now, do you know why I tell dad jokes? Because he laughs. Do you want to know where I store my dad jokes? In a database. I mean, where else? So, you know why Snoop Dogg carries an umbrella? Faux drizzle. If you guys are hungry, I can give you 2 pack of M&M for 50 cents. Man, isn't that deal ludicrous? Hey, I'll throw in a plate of meatloaf and a cup of iced tea with ice cube in the flavor of vanilla ice. Welcome in, Kathy Grover. Welcome to the Hovey podcast. Everybody, my name is Matthew, and we are doing the Hovey podcast. This is the first big episode. We had our first guest, Aisha Brown. Thank you again, Aisha Brown, for joining and being a part of the Hovey podcast family. So, guys, if you are a musician, it doesn't have to be like well known, it could be local. Feel free to reach out to me if you want to be on the show. Local musicians, local comedians, local athletes, or even famous athletes, famous comedians, famous actors and actresses. If there's somebody you want to see on the show, please let us know who you'd like to see in the comments. Anybody watching right now have any requests for people? Type them in the comments, please. Kathy Grover, how are you doing, Aunt Kathy? Everybody, my Aunt Kathy is watching. So, guys, I thank you guys so much for coming on and watching the first ever co-hosts of the Hovey podcast. I appreciate it. I appreciate Aisha for taking time out of her day to come on and just be a part of this. Thank you. So, guys, I look forward to talking with you guys in the near future. Uh, Thank you so much. When we're off.